Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace, blessings, and mercy of Allah be upon you. So this is the next video I'm going to make just to expose a little bit of the media bias against Muslims in Islam. So just in the interest of saving time, I already pre-Googled all this stuff. So for the first one, it's a Google search for first woman surgeon. As you see, it says Mary Edwards Walker. So she's the first female surgeon in the United States in 1855. Celebrating 10 women medical pioneers, 1849 for Elizabeth Blackwell, Jenny Roberts, Smiley Robertson, 1878, women in medicine, physician all over. Here we'll have a quick look at women in medicine. First woman surgeon world, we'll see if that changes anything. Nope, see, Elizabeth Blackwell, died in 1910. This is first female surgeon, Mary Edwards Walker. I should have exited WhatsApp web. I apologize for the beeping. First female doctor around the world, Dorothy Excalibur, 1754. And so women in medicine. Let's see. Okay, so this article has medieval world, so we should be okay. And now let's look at first woman Muslim surgeon, Rufaida al-Islamiyya. Now let's have a quick look at when she was born. 620 AD. She was a Sahaba, part of the Sahaba, which is a companion of the Prophet radallahu anha. And she's the first surgeon in Islam according to Wiki, but really she was the first surgeon on earth. And only about 1200 years before the first Western surgeon. So as you can see, right, very intellectually dishonest when the first surgeon according to here died in 1910, and our first surgeon died in the 7th century. Oldest university. So Google used to give you different results. I'm happy that they've actually recently updated this, or maybe they updated it for me. So a mosque and University of Qarawiyyin. But I'll show you where the bias continues. Which was the oldest university in the world? First result in Google Ask, University of Bologna, which was founded in 1088. University of Qarawiyyin, let me have a look, was founded in 857 by another Muslim woman, Fatima al-Fahri. So yeah, when you go to Google Answers, University of Bologna was founded in 1088. Now, if we look at the University of Qarawiyyin, it was founded in 857 or 859. So obviously much earlier. And it was founded by a Muslim woman, Fatima al-Fahri. I might be pronouncing her name wrong because when I see things in English, it's hard to tell what English, like what Arabic letters they mean. So let's see. Jamiat al-Qarawiyyin Fatima al-Fahri. Let's pronounce her name right. Give her Fatima bint Muhammad al-Fahriya. Okay. So as you can see, this kind of dispels two myths together because we had women surgeons very early. We had woman founding university. And so I know some people will say, oh, but it was a mosque. Actually, mosques were the first universities, or not the first, sorry, correction. This is the oldest continuous university. And that trend still continues today. I'm blanking on the name because I'm on a video naturally. Mosque University Egypt is a very famous one. Just Al-Azhar. Yeah, so yeah, Al-Azhar is a very prestigious mosque and university. So education in mosques has been since the founding of Islam. It's where people learn languages. That's where people learn sciences. The initial like big brains of Islam were actually very famous scientists. Most of them were polymaths. So yeah, oldest university in the world. 800-year-old university, considered the oldest university in the world, right? On Google again. So false. Oxford in the English-speaking world, and second oldest. Again, also not true because they're linking it as after Bologna. So, you see this list of oldest schools? Yeah, no, that's valid. And so 10 oldest universities in the world, University of Bologna. And this is a top universities website. Wikipedia, list of oldest universities in continuous operation. They list Bologna, even though that's not true. If you go to the Guinness Book of World Records, University of Turin is listed there. 10 oldest university in the world. Again, this is a list that doesn't have it. And so as you can see, very obvious bias on, there you go, the only correct one, right? And so they always try to downplay Muslim accomplishments. And we'll continue. I'll show you some more. First police force, right? So we Google first police force, you get King Louis the, not the best at Roman numerals, the 14th, I think, in 1667. What's the oldest police force? You get Thames River Police in the 1800s. Who started the police force? Sir Robert Peel for Metropolitan Police. Early police in the United States. History of policing in the West. This is actually news to me, so I'll have to look into it. But to my knowledge, that is not correct, but we'll check. I mean, there wasn't a dedicated police force in Egypt, to my knowledge, but we'll do a deeper dive in that later. New York, right? First police force world. Let's see if we get any different results. Boston pops up. We'll come back to this later. London, New York, which is obviously not true, right? Because London and France beat them. And then now let's look at Umar. So this is under the Wikipedia page for Umar ibn Khattab radallahu anhu. He was the second Khalif of Islam, which is Caliph. So he was the second ruler of Islam after the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam died. And if you look at some of his pioneering affairs, was the first to introduce the public ministry system, where the records of officials and soldiers were kept. He also kept a record system for messages he sent to governors and heads of state. Was the first to appoint police forces to keep civil order, and these were dedicated police forces. So when was the first? And if we Google search police, so he even had a police chief. So this was a dedicated police department. It was the first dedicated police department in human history. And so for those of you that aren't familiar, when was Umar bin Khattab born? 583. And when did he die? 644. Again, Muslims are over 1200 years before the West. And Western media, Google, all the news outlets, again, they downplay our accomplishments and they lie about them. And this is pretty typical.